I don't want to pay this person $7.25 an hour.
Yeah, but none of this stuff is bringing like new productivity into existence. All of this nonsense is a gigantic publicly subsidized boondoggle that's absorbing far more than it's ever going to return.
All right, let's go on and continue here.
Use any of their credit cards, and you're not going to get any money out of the ATM. Hospitals would not be able to work. The electrical systems would fail.
Thankfully.
Jesus, it sounds like San Francisco would just be fucked.
You know,
why them? Are they extra dependent on...
Oh, well, no, they are. They are infinitely retarded in San Francisco. Everything that they do there is
dependent on
now.
Satellite GPS and shit. That's what basically this guy's saying.
Well, I wanted to go back to the idea that something could not have been done without people who come after the fact and take it over. It's not exclusive to the pre big tech, high technology nonsense that's requiring GPS for payment systems, whatever the hell that's about. But it applies to just even having Joe Blow in the toll box with a frickin' metal box that he just puts the dollar bills in. Mm-hmm. The bridge didn't need that to be built either. I mean, it's always inverted, and they want you can tell, you can see it for yourself, and they want you to believe that the relationship in time is the opposite of what it is. People didn't start building bridges to pay tolls. And people didn't start
People built a bridge because they wanted to have access to land or get somewhere they weren't able to before. And then someone else came around and said, you know what, you're going to pay me to get over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right? Just like
the bridge troll.
There's a simple example in human action. It's either human action or man economy and state. But it's all about what's the point of connecting two groups of people geographically. Say there's a giant forest between two towns. Mm-hmm. It's impassable by vehicle. So anybody that goes directly from one to the other has to go on foot or with animal, on horseback or whatever. So in order to facilitate greater volume of trade, because one town specializes in a number of things and the other one has a whole different set of things, and their ability to go back and forth and exchange those values for each other, increasing the realized value in both towns, that would be facilitated by a more easily passable route. So the people of the towns build a road between their towns. Right?
Yes.
Trade begins to increase, and then somebody gets it in their head that we need to make sure that the road is A, B, C, D, whatever arbitrary stupid thing they want to involve in the existence of this road. Whether it be crime, health, it doesn't matter what it is. So what we're going to need to do now is we're going to have to replace the newly opened route with the obstacle in the form of a currency payment to replace the forest that was in the way. See, you didn't have the ability to do this before.
Yeah.
And now there's a road there. So now it's easy, and people are actually increasing their value by trading with each other.
So why don't we decrease it by making them pay to use it?
What is the sense? What is the sense in it? We never reconciles.
What about a private company that pays for all the labor and all the costs to create the road themselves, and then so they can make their money back and make a profit by letting other people use it?
Okay, I'm not even gonna bother addressing how people do things right now with respect to that question.
Yeah.
Let's ask. Well, let's say there are no authorities in either town, and this is an isolated hypothetical. If you had specialists of different areas in one town and specialists of different types in another town, and they wanted easier access to each other's goods and services. God, how in the world could they ever build a road without a government? Well, how would they do it?
They couldn't.
No. the largest interests that stand to gain the most would do it on their own.
Mic drop.
They'd build the road. That's how they did it before we had all this nation state concept. People wanted easier access to a place. They built a road.
Yeah.
There wasn't a
They figured out how to way to get there
There wasn't a government
themselves.
tax program. There wasn't any of that.
All right, let's go ahead and continue this video here. For people who just joined, we're watching a video called AI, Is It Too Dangerous?
And that's an overarching true statement. Government has never created anything. It only takes over.
They created the internet, didn't they? Or the military did, which is part of the government.
They controlled it through the process. The government isn't responsible for creating anything. What it does is it hires individuals with varying specialized skills to carry out tasks, but the government never actually does anything. It just taxes and spends.
It just takes and rapes.
And it can't produce anything because it's never on the other side of a voluntary exchange. So it can't be put into the category of production because production is a material, physical concept that's governed by material requirements. And the relationship between those with political power and those without is an absolute denial of that reality. So to think that the government taking money and spending it on something can be called production is just... Basically what they do is they pay bounties for control. Because all of the work that went into creating this internet structure as it is it's all been manipulated. And they stacked it together in sequence for a very specific purpose. It was designed to be the ultimate surveillance system. That's all. I mean, sure, it can control devices and stuff, but that
allows us to play some sweet video games too.
Far reduced.
Allows us to do shit that we're doing right now
for them.
Fucking sit in our basement and go live and talk shit about the government so they can hear us. All right, AI too dangerous to release.
Revolution of